Kolbrin Bible, Book 2, Chapter 15, verses 1, 4 through 9, 54, and 61. The Word of God on worship. Rituals are fine for man, and not evil in my eyes, but do not pretend it is for my benefit. Do not let ritual get in way of service to others. Kolbrin Bible, Book 2, Gleanings, Chapter 15, The Voice of God. GLN 15:1. The voice of God came out of the heavens unto his servants, even before the days of Wunis. But in these days it has come to certain of his devoted ones who heard it within the cavern of visions. Afterwards each wrote it down according to his own hearing, and lo, when they came together, it was seen that each had recorded the same words. Thus the things which were heard by the three and set down by them in writing, all being agreed alike, are things recorded forever. Why should followers be told to fear God, instead of inspiring them to do right out of love and respect for Him? It just seems rather odd. GLN 15:4. Men approach me in fear. They come to me with servility. They beg forgiveness for their sins and request my help in worldly matters. To sing my praises is their excuse for coming into places made sacred unto me. But they come wanting something, be it only reassurance. With this attitude towards me, do you wonder that I remain mute before their pleas? Bring me no more vain offerings of flesh and blood, for such wastefulness of life is an offense to the God of life. What benefit do I derive from all your feasts or festivals? Give me dedication and effort. That is all I ask. Above all, be true to yourselves, for I abhor the face of hypocrisy, the face now all too familiar when men approach me. This next verse talks about giving alms to Him while ignoring the roots of poverty. Better to concentrate on doing the right by those in need. However, to me, this means nothing if forced. Money taken by government negates the good in His eyes. Those who advocate that give nothing of themselves, while those that use the excuse they already give to government is an easy excuse to avoid doing their service to the needs of society. GLN 15:5. Men bring me meat and wine, fine flour and wheaten cakes, thinking I can consume these, or that I have need of such sustenance. I would be far better served were these to be given to the widow and orphan, to the multitudinous poor whom you suffer to exist in your midst. Poverty is man-made, and it is not sufficient for the wealthy to give alms to the poor. Those with power and position, with wealth and plenty, must strike at the roots of poverty. If they fail to do this, then the alms they give have no merit in my sight. This next verse talks of hypocrisy and over-reliance on ceremony and rituals. GLN 15:6. Your solemn assemblies, your tedious processions, your long faces and melancholy expressions bring no gladness to my heart. Your burdensome ceremonials and futile offerings of life and food benefit me in no way at all. Men themselves may derive benefit from these, but their hypocrisy, when they proclaim they do this in my name, is not hidden from me. While ceremony and ritual does no good for God, it can be beneficial for man, as long as you do not pretend it is for God's benefit. While fasting or denial of bodily appetites may serve useful needs, God has no desire to repress what is good. All is fine as long as it serves God's purpose, and that is to inspire and refine your spirit and growth of the soul. GLN 15:7. The reek of your incense smoke rises and disappears into the air, but it comes not unto me, nor do I have need of it. Yet I will not deny you the pleasure of its fragrance, which can bring inner harmony and peace by soothing the spirits of men. Nor will I deny you your feasts, if the fetters of wickedness be thereby loosened from your souls. But do not say they are undertaken for my benefit or glorification. Fasting and the denial of bodily appetites may serve useful ends for men, but though you may deceive yourselves regarding their intent, do not try to deceive me by misstating their purpose. I have no desire to repress the joy and exuberance welling up in the hearts of men. Far rather would I prefer that such humanizing emotions be cultivated. Therefore, pray if prayer serves its true purpose, which is to harmonize your spirit with mine, so communication becomes possible. Keep your festivals and feasts if they serve their purpose, which is to inspire and refine your spirit. Do all that elevates your spirit and develops your soul. That is the true purpose of life. Do all that is good for you. Nothing wholly beneficial is denied you, but do not declare that in so doing you confer benefit upon me. I am the God above and beyond all. Worship is not denied to you, but it must not substitute. For fulfilling obligations, it cannot be used as adjustment for things you fail to do or make up, for negative actions taken against others, and never rely on them to allow you to be wicked. GLN 15:8. I do not deny you your rituals and ceremonials. Worship me if you will as you will, but bear in mind that this cannot substitute for your obligations. Ritual and worship cannot be an adjustment or payment for the things you have failed to do, or be an apology for your own shortcomings. Neither do they compensate for inequities against your fellow men. If you attach importance to ritual and ceremonial, let it be in a proper proportion, and never let them dull your conscience against deeds of wickedness, of usury and injustice. Never let your duty and obligations be neglected, because you worship me diligently, following a formalized ritual and ceremonial. Let this not become an excuse for failing to share your bread with the hungry or for neglecting the needs of the destitute or weak. I am not deceived. A life dedicated to me is not one preoccupied with worship. That is more the life of a coward, trembling before the unknown. He who dedicates his life to me gives shelter to the homeless and succors those in distress. But even these are not the ultimate in goodness, for they are passively accepted. The ultimate in goodness is to actively combat all the root causes of evil. Those who are my true followers live a life of service and goodness. They live in harmony with their neighbors, harm none, and do not shirk the burdens and obligations of earthly existence. It may sound like I am attacking religion. It isn't what is taught I disagree with, only the demand we must conform completely to one rigid ideal from another person who is at least as flawed as we are. God is perfect, but we, all of us, is flawed. So believing God can only be understood through one filter is unwise. GLN 1554. These are divine things, yet they can be set down only in the mere words of men, and will thus be reduced to things of mortal frailty. Mere words will be read, and the pattern formed by them will be far short of truth and reality. The taste of a fruit or the fragrance of a flower cannot be known by reading about them. The fruit must be eaten, and the flower smelt. Only in union with me, spirit communicating with spirit, can proof of my reality be found. Yet, because things are as they are, truth must ever be veiled from man, as man. But who would labor if laborers were paid whether they worked or not? Were they revealed to him, the ignorant man would not comprehend great things. Therefore, the light is not for him. The insincere and shallow seeker after diversion and pleasure will find little entertainment in these words. The really illuminated man will already know something of the truth, and will therefore seek it more diligently along a higher path. So these words are given just for those sincere seekers who are aware of their own shortcomings and ignorance. These will be people whose thoughts are not smothered by prejudice, who are not set in their opinions, For who among men is the most confirmed in his opinions? Who states things in the most assertive manner and talks with the loudest voice? Is it not the most ignorant? I would not let the sincere seeker go unguided. I am the light on the path. GLN 1561. Would you know the ultimate state of man when he has finally reached his goal? When he has entered into his inheritance of divinity? It is a state of glory transcending anything conceivable by him during an earthbound existence. His consciousness expands to embrace everything, all that ever was or will be. He sees all, he knows all, he is in all, and he contains all. These things come to him through infinite powers of perception. Yet he is above all such powers. He is beyond all. Yet within all, he is beyond the realm of matter, freed from all restrictions. Yet he is not denied its joys, and may, if he so desires, manifest again in matter. His thoughts have the power of creation. He is one with the light of lights, the light transcending vision. He is the partaker of my substance, my son in eternity, the inheritor of everlasting life. I am your God, the Father of man. I do not know if the book is ancient, and will not claim it is divinely inspired. I only know I find the insistence on words and judging everyone else while acting sanctimonious and pure while doing the same things seems hypocritical. I do not want to change anyone else's opinions. I share this because I happen to agree with it. However, I also know that I am flawed and would love to hear other people's opinions that might change my views. Thank you.